Imagine joining one of the toughest military training programs in the world only to discover that your final training exercise has turned into a fight for survival against an alien machine. That is exactly what happens in War Machine. So the film follows Staff Sergeant 81, played by Alan Richardson. After losing his brother during a mission in Afghanistan, he decided to fulfill his brother's dream by joining the Army Ranger program. So one interesting aspect of the training is that recruits are no longer identified by their names. Instead, they are given numbers and the main character becomes 81. So this reflects the military's strong organizational culture where discipline, hierarchy, and the organization's goal are placed above individual identity. At the beginning of the film, 81 is not interested in becoming a leader. He prefers to stay in the background and simply complete his training. However, everything changed during what is supposed to be a routine field exercise. The recruits discover a crashed alien spacecraft and are suddenly hunted by a powerful alien machine. So, as members of the team begin to fall, 81 is forced to step up, lead the remaining survivors, and make difficult decisions under extreme pressure. Eventually, he discovers the machine's weakness, defeats it, and successfully returns with critical intelligence that earns him a place in the Ranger Regiment. Imagine joining one of the toughest military training programs in the world only to discover that your final training exercise has turned into a fight for survival against an alien machine. That is exactly what happens in War Machine. So the film follows Staff Sergeant 81, played by Alan Richardson. After losing his brother during a mission in Afghanistan, he decided to fulfill his brother's dream by joining the Army Ranger program. So one interesting aspect of the training is that recruits are no longer identified by their names. Instead, they are given numbers and the main character becomes 81. So this reflects the military's strong organizational culture where discipline, hierarchy, and the organization's goal are placed above individual identity. At the beginning of the film, 81 is not interested in becoming a leader. He prefers to stay in the background and simply complete his training. However, everything changed during what is supposed to be a routine field exercise. The recruits discover a crashed alien spacecraft and are suddenly hunted by a powerful alien machine. So, as members of the team begin to fall, 81 is forced to step up, lead the remaining survivors, and make difficult decisions under extreme pressure. Eventually, he discovers the machine's weakness, defeats it, and successfully returns with critical intelligence that earns him a place in the Ranger Regiment.
So one of the key themes in organizational concept within War Machine 2026, we can see the concept of leadership. A leader is a backbone that will determine the success of an organization. So leadership is an ability to guide, influence a group or individual towards a common goals, which involve communication, motivation, and decision making. So in War Machine, we can see two types of leadership style. The first one is autocratic and the second one is transactional. So for autocratic style, where a leader gives command or order without any voices from the team member. And this approach usually used in emergency situations. So in War Machine, we can see candidate 81 use this autocratic style to make decision in emergency situation. However, with this leadership and also the characteristic of candidate 81, it pushed the team members to be demotivated and also uncomfortable with his guidance. So we can see in this background of the movie, it is suitable to use autocratic leadership. However, in the real world, it may strain the relationship of subordinate and also the manager. So for the second leadership style is transactional leadership, where it is an approach that have clear expectation while stating the reward and consequences for each performance. And this leadership can be seen from Sergeant Sheridan and also Sergeant Torres before the death march, where they state the expectation for them to successfully complete the mission and also the reward they will get after the successful mission. This type of leadership can be motivating and also guide our team to the common goal and achieve it successfully. So the second key themes that we can identify from War Machine is the concept of motivation. Motivation is what drives individual intensity and also persistence of effort toward a goal. So motivation can vary among each individuals. However, McClellan said that motivation derives from three primary sources, which is the need of achievement, the needs of affiliation, and the needs of power. So from War Machine, we can identify two needs, which is the need of achievement and also the need of affiliation. We can see candidate 81 have this motivation, which is the need of achievement, because it derived from his deceased brother goals, which is to successfully enter RASP, which is the Ranger Assessment Selection Program. So from his promise with his brother, that's what motivated him to finish and also attain the goal of being one of the ranger in 75 Ranger Regiment. However, the second need, which is the need of affiliation, we can see it derived from the character of candidate 15. So throughout the movie, we can see how candidate 15 affiliate himself with the team member and also other comrades to maintain a good relationship and friendship, where he seemed friendly and also approachable. His character deeply looked into mutual understanding, bonding, and also brotherhood in surviving the RASP, and combined with his belief of togetherness and also finishing the RASP together is what drive him to stay positive and stay strong throughout the movie.
Next, I will discuss about the organizational behavior concept of conflict in the movie War Machine 2026. So, according to Robinson and Judge 2023, conflict actually occurs when one party perceives that another party has negatively affected something they value. For example, in an organization, conflict can actually happen due to differences in opinions, goals, communication styles, or even working approaches. Conflict can be categorized into three types, which are relationship conflict, task conflict, and also process conflict. In War Machine 2026, this movie demonstrates the relationship conflict, meaning it involves emotional tension and also interpersonal differences between the team members. This type of conflict can actually often occurs because of the poor communication, different perspective, and disagreement between the team members. So, as a result, it can actually affect the teamwork and also create difficulties in order to achieving the organizational goals. However, the conflict shown in this movie also can become as a functional conflict when it is managed effectively. Through open communication and also addressing their differences, the team members are actually able to regain focus and also work together towards their shared objective. The conflicts help to improve their understanding of each other, strengthen their trust, and also encourage for a better teamwork. Instead of weakening the group, the conflict can actually become as an opportunity for the team to develop stronger cooperation, discipline, and also mutual support. Therefore, War Machine 2026 actually highlight that conflict is not always negative. When it can be handled properly, conflict can actually contribute to a better team performance and also help the organization to achieve success through their effective collaboration. Now, we move on to the last organizational behavior concept, which is the group dynamic in War Machine 2026. So, what is group dynamic? Group dynamic actually refers to interaction and also behavioral processes that occur among the group members as they work together in order to achieve their shared goals. In an organization, an effective group dynamic actually influenced by several factors such as communication, trust, cooperation, group roles, and also cohesion. When all of these elements are present, all of the team members are actually able to coordinate their efforts and also perform more effectively. This concept can actually be explained by Tubman's 5 stages of group development that consist of forming, storming, norming, performing, and the last one is adjourning. So, in War Machine 2026, these military teams are actually demonstrated the norming and also performing stages of this model. So, during the norming stage, all of the team members are actually begin to develop stronger relationship, establish their roles, and also build trust with each other. Even though the team members have different type of perspective and also responsibility, they actually manage to learn how to cooperate and also communicate in order to handle the challenge together. As the team move to the next stage, which is the performance stage, they actually become more coordinated and also focused in order to achieving their goals and objectives. This movie shows that actually success does not depend on only one individual's ability alone, but it actually depends on the collective effort of the entire team members. It happened because each member actually contributed their skills and also followed their roles in order to ensure that the mission can be completed effectively. So all in all, strong group dynamic can actually contribute to a better teamwork, clear communication, stronger trust, and also improve the overall team performance. So, War Machine 2026 actually highlight that effective collaboration is actually very essential for an organization to achieve their goals, especially in high pressure environment where cooperation and also coordination are required. So that's all from me. Thank you.
So I will continue to present main lesson in this movie. Moving into our core reflection, the film's protagonist, 81, teaches us 3 invaluable lessons about unit dynamics and modern leadership under pressure. First, we must connect, not just excel. While 81 is physically the strongest recruit in reps, his refusal to bond with his team is flagged as a direct failure. This teaches that raw competence without connection is a liability. High performers who isolate themselves ultimately weaken the integrity of the entire squad. Second, adapt over force. When the team encounters an alien threat that renders their standard weapon useless, 81 doesn't try to fight harder with a failing plan. Instead, he pauses to analyze the threat, targets a physical ventilation weakness, and disable it. In a crisis, the answer is always to understand the system you are up against rather than repeating tactics that are clearly failing. Finally, lead through trust. 81's true victory is in physical supremacy. It's the moment he dropped his lone operator shield, share his grief, and allow his squad to truly see him. This vulnerability shifted him from a detached survivor to an authentic leader capable of guiding a shattered group home alive. Ultimately, these 3 lessons remind us that true survival and leadership are never about standing alone. They are built entirely on connection, tactics adaptation, and mutual trust. Now, let's look at how this concept applied to the real world. According to research by Banker and others, high-performance leadership under pressure isn't just about raw skill. Whether you are an elite athlete, a military officer, or a corporate manager, sustaining success depends heavily on how you manage psychological strain and stress. When a crisis hits in the workplace, like a sudden system outage or a shifted deadline, our immediate human instinct is to put our head down, isolate ourselves, and try to power through alone. But this isolation is actually the ultimate failure mode. It's the exact same pattern we see at university during high-pressure exam periods or chaotic group projects. The real-world solution requires a pivot. Instead of repeating the same failed approach with more focus, we need to step back, assess the actual constraint, communicate early, and delegate tasks based on what our team can actually handle. Success under pressure isn't about being an isolated hero, it's about clear communication. Moving on to our personal insights and reflection, the film powerfully challenges the myth of self-reliance. It is incredibly easy to mistake quiet isolation for actual capability. But, as Nugent and others point out, true resilience isn't about individual toughness. It is about having a social support network and being willing to use it. We recognize this tendency in ourselves. True competence doesn't mean shutting others out. It means letting down your guard to build collaboration and trust, combining individual strength to overcome shared obstacles. Furthermore, we learn that preparation always beats crisis drama. Success is dictated by systematic proactivity and strategic groundwork long before a high-stake crisis even begins. Finally, when standard playbooks fail, rigidity becomes a major liability. Embracing an adaptive mindset allows us to step outside rigid frameworks, think creatively, and successfully diffuse unexpected difficulties. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aini Syazwani binti Musa and my metric number is 1230292. To wrap up our analysis, let's look at the overarching conclusion from this war machine movie and how we can apply this insight moving forward. First, looking at our summary key insights, the high-stress military environment essentially acted as an intense organizational behavior laboratory, isolating and compressing core organizational concepts that usually take months to observe in standard environments. We witness emergent leadership in its purest form, when the formal structure depersonalized the team, crisis forced an unexpected and reluctant trainee, 81, to step up and take command. This pressure also led to accelerated cohesion. Several severe external threats rapidly drove team development, and solidarity, forcing individuals to align almost instantly. Finally, it highlighted decision-making under uncertainty, proving that the team must be capable of quick risk assessment when formal communication lines completely fail. So what we do with this insight, here are our recommendations. Implement adaptive leadership training. We need to prepare personnel to step up dynamically. When a crisis disrupts the formal chain of command, individuals must be ready to fill the vacuum. The second one, design high-stress simulation. We should introduce time pressure, uncertain scenarios into our training to specifically prepare teams for total communication failures. And the third one, balance structures and identity. While maintaining a formal hierarchy is essential, we must encourage individual initiative to solve novel and unexpected problems. Lastly, establish rapid trust protocols. We need to build frameworks that allow newly formed or cross-functional units to align, trust one another, and execute quickly under pressure. And that's all from me. Thank you.